the quota places were released today. So that means that every country knows how many spots they've been given, and they show you which athletes have qualified those spots. Okay, so I'm gonna put the graphic on the full screen and show that the Team Germany and Team Canada for the women have qualified their 3 spots based on these athletes here. Then the 4 nations are represented in blue that have qualified 2 athletes. And then at the end, in this tanny color, are the nations that have guaranteed themselves a single nation athlete. Then the gray you can see is the host nation, Korea. Those numbers are the number of points that these athletes have gotten throughout the year. Going down to the continental representation, you'll see Nigeria has 176, that's the athlete from Africa. Then there's Australia with 666 points from Oceania. And then you see Germany, USA, Korea beside Europe, the America, and Asia. Because there are no numbers, this means that athletes have qualified for the Olympics outright, and their points, no one is getting a continental rep because it's already being represented. That total brings us to 19 of 20 athletes. So then this lighter green color you see, this unused quota spot goes to Belgium. So that means that there's 1 spot left over that hasn't been filled because of the continental representation already being met. So that's Kim Mellemans. If any of the athletes in the 3-nation spot, in the 2-athlete spot, or in the single-athlete spot, if any of those nations decide to say no, that's when this light yellowy mustard color comes into possible reallocation. So Switzerland is next, that's Marina Gilardoni's points, then Japan, Takako Oguchi, and then Italy, Romania, China goes down. So what that means is for every athlete or nation that chooses not to send a spot that they've earned, the next available spot will go to Swiss. That's how that works. Kind of simple, kind of not. Before we break down a little deeper, I want to go into the guys' spots as well. What is this? So I want to go to the guys' spots quickly. Now you'll see here that Germany, Russia, and Canada are the 3 nations that have qualified 3 athletes. In the blue, you can see which athletes from the 6 nations have qualified 2 athletes, and then over here we have the 5 NOCs with 1 athlete. Now again, we have the host nation in Korea. They don't have points because they've qualified 2 people outright, so they're guaranteed 1 spot, but because they get 2, they don't get to send a 3rd. Then we go down to this continental representation. Europe, the Americas, Oceania, and Asia are all represented already. So that means that Africa is the only continent left over that doesn't have a representation. So Akwazi Frimpong has 88 points. So go down here, he is 55th in this cleaned out list, and only the top 60 are allowed to be eligible for the Olympics. He made it in by 14 points this year. So Africa gets the representation by 14 points. Pretty close, pretty amazing. Then we go down to these unused quota spots where we see Italy, Romania, Ukraine. Those athletes, again, just like the women, fill up the rest. Now, if any one of those, just like the women, any one of those nations choose not to send an athlete, we go to Norway, Israel, France, Luxembourg, Jamaica, Israel, Chinese Taipei, Sweden, all of those athletes. So now that we know how many nations have how many spots and which ones are next in the order, we have 2 days for those NOCs to confirm quota places and how many. Things are already starting to come out. USA has already named their 2 men, Matt Antoine and John Daly. Congratulations. They'll be representing USA again. The women are going to be Katie Eulander. It's her 4th trip to the games. Congratulations. And Kendall Weisenberg, I believe it's her 1st games. So Team USA has already announced their 4. Others are going to come. Akwazi's already qualified. He's going. He's announced it on social media. And boy, oh boy, the next 2 days, more and more nations are going to roll out their quota spots because we have only until tomorrow for NOCs to confirm with the IBSF who are going, because then it goes to reallocation from the 17th to the 18th. So then any of these people in this tanny, ugly orange color are going to get the confirmation. That's how we go. That's how we do it. That's it. That's how it's broken down. So until tomorrow, and hopefully a lot of stuff will be announced tomorrow. I'm going to see you then. Good night.